Hey, hi everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Harika. So this is a part 3 of employee onboarding use case. So we have seen in the earlier videos how we can actually use IMAP in order to fetch all the mails that were sent by the user. And later we have seen uh, after we extract all the files, after we download all the attachments, you can see on the left side project panel. We have looked through each of these files and we have filled the form. And after filling the forms, we have extracted employee ID and employee mail ID by using regex as well as the string manipulations. So once after that is done, the next thing I am going to discuss in this video, which is sending out the mails. Before to that, I have to save this particular thing in the local database. So what I exactly mean by that is, so whatever the employee ID and the email ID that has been generated, that has to be stored in my local database. That means HR, so the company's database, where they can have access to all the information of the employees that's been onboarded. So for that, what I'm going to do, firstly, let me just create one data table. So I'm just using build data table. So just take it over here. And this data table, I am creating an exact replica of what is there in my Excel sheet. Okay. So I'm creating first name, last name, this is string. After that, I am creating, let me delete this. After that, I have, just check the one that you already have in the onboarded. Okay, so after that, I'm having email contact employee ID, email, after that contact, and total years of experience. Just copy this whole thing and previous organization. Okay, total years of experience. Okay, and the next one is previous organization. Just copy this thing as well. Okay, so we have built the data table, but along with this, I also want email ID or employee ID. Okay, employee ID as well as employee mail ID. Okay, employee mail ID. Okay, so these both are fields also I'm going to update. So let's give a name to this data table. So I'm gonna name this as oh, control K is not working. Okay, I'm gonna name this thing as a DT onboarded employees. Okay, employees. So this is a data table. Okay, so we are good with that. So let me just take that here, DT onboarded employees. Okay, so we have used that particular variable over there. So once after that is created, what is the next thing? We have to if you remember, what we are doing is at every point we are adding the details and we are getting the employee ID and employee mail ID, right? So once after we get that, before we actually navigate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these values into the data table. So how we can add that? Add to data row. Add data row. Okay, so I'm just pulling this activity here so that I can add these things into the data table, which is DT onboarded employees. Inside that, I will be adding everything here, right? So what are the values that I'm going to add? I'll just copy it from here into the array. So let me just copy these things quickly. First name, last name, email, contact, and these things. Okay. So no worries. I'll just add these things into the array. So we all know how to add these, right? So let me open this. So inside this particular array, I'm gonna add it. Okay. So just give me a second. I will just expand this one. Okay. So after that, the next thing is last name. I'll just take this quickly. Email, contact, total years of experience, and what the other one is our previous organization, right? Last name, email. Okay. Contact. Okay, these both I'll just take it from here because we should not mess up with the header names. So this is previous organization and this is total years of experience. Okay. So fine. Apart from that, I also want str, employee ID. Okay, this is again not popping up. I am not sure what is the issue. One is employee email ID and the other one is employee email ID. That's the last one. But before to that, we have employee ID, right? So I'm gonna give str employee ID. I'll just cross check with this. Okay. So okay. EMP and capital I, capital D. Okay. Anyways, I'll just copy this. Okay. Just expand and check this out. Okay. I think it's fine. Okay. And after that, there's some error over here. What is it? Is not declared. Hmm. Is it not declared? It is declared, right? Okay, it is there. Let me save this first. We'll go and check. Inaccessible, but it is accessible. Okay, fine. So we are good with this. So what is going to happen is as soon as I run it, it's going to save everything into this particular data table. So once after it runs and executes, I am after every file. Let me just okay. So once after this the whole thing is executed, I want everything to be kept into a local Excel file. Okay, so this is, I'll just minimize to make you understand clearly. So after everything is executed, I have the data in my data table, okay? But I want the data into my Excel sheet, into my database, right? So for that, I am going to use right range. So right range workbook I'm going to take, okay? I'm going to keep it over here. So I'm going to use the sheet 1 and the data table is DT. Again, it's showing some issue. Control onboarded employees, okay? After that, I am going to write it into an Excel sheet, right? So it's going to be onboarded employees sheet or onboarded employees dot xlsx. Okay, fine. I already have that here. I'm going to delete it and before to that, I should close it over here. Okay, yes. So this should give me the whole information. Okay. So once after that is done, we'll have everything into our project folder, which is our local database. I don't know why this is showing up. I think it's very slow. Maybe because of that, it is keep on showing these issues. Okay, fine. So, yeah, we are clear, right? It's gonna fill the form and then it's gonna write everything into our sheet. Okay, so let's quickly run this, run the file. I think I've closed. Okay, let me close this browser. Okay, fine. So this is running. So once after this is done, whenever this gets executed without any errors, so the next step is we have loaded everything into our database. So after that, we have to send mail to that particular person um, with the information like employee ID and all. Okay, so that's the next step. So let's see how we can do that. Okay, fine. So we can see here the onboarded employees sheet got downloaded. I mean, like created. Okay, so headers are not there. I'm gonna give headers as well. Okay, so perfect. This sheet is there. I'm gonna add headers to this. Okay, so once after that's done, the next step is let me just show you this part. Okay, so this is something I have created. So you can just watch one of my videos on SMTP, sending the mail to through SMTP, and how we can actually include the HTML mail bodies also. So I have shown two ways for that. So I will link the video also over here. You can just watch it and also give you the link in the description. Just check out that video because I have explained everything in a detailed way, and also I have given two ways how we can do that. Okay, so that's very important. You can understand everything about it. So here I'm going to show you how we can do that. So I'm adding a small sequence over here only. So let me take one small sequence, or else I'll just do one thing. Here only I'll add one sequence. Okay, because instead of moving to multiple things, I can just keep it over here. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I will take the values from this particular onboarded employee sheet, and from there, or else I can take from the data table itself, and I will be using that particular values to send the mail. Okay, so I'll take for each. So I'll take directly from data table instead of taking from Excel again, reading into the data table and doing all those stuff. Directly I'll take from the data table. Okay. So DT. Oh my God, like this is seriously every time. Okay. So I'm taking this particular thing. For everything, I have to send a mail, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take send SMTP mail message activity. So here also I'm showing, but there it will be very much clear for you. You will be getting all the details without any miss. So here, what I'm going to do, first and the foremost thing that you have to provide here is the port and the, let me show you port and the server details. Where is the port here? The port for SMTP in Gmail is 587 and the server is smtp.gmail.com. Just giving this information. So once after that's done, the next thing is you have to provide the email and the password. So for this also, I would suggest you please check out that video and the mail automation playlist. So I will link that playlist here because whenever you're doing, you should have the app password, application password. Only then it's gonna work. So with your normal password it's not gonna work and it's gonna throw an error, and that playlist is very important. It will give you some understanding on the settings and everything that you have to do. Okay, so and I am just taking the app password that I have. Let me just show you. So this is my app password, and don't try to replicate this one because it doesn't work for you, because I'm going to delete this password as soon as I upload the video. So don't try with this. You have to create one app password for your application and you have to use that. Only then it's gonna work. So I have given email and the password, and the next thing is two. Okay, so this particular two value is I'm going to take it from the current row. Like seriously, why this is? So I'm just making it as a row because it is more convenient for me instead of typing current row every time. So I'm just taking row of what is the to address. It will be in the email, right? Email dot to string. Okay. And after that, the subject is constant. Okay. So what is the subject that I wanted to use is, um, I have actually shown you the subject. Let me show the sent items. Because I have deleted from there. Okay, so I will just take this as the subject, registered into our systems. Okay, so that is something that I have been using, registered into our systems to that particular employee. Okay, anything, just an example, our systems. Okay, so once after that's done, the body, this is the main thing that I have explained in my video. So here body, we have to send it in a HTML format. So here I'm using the you know, the body that's there in the text file. So this is the text file. In this text file I am using hi, here comes the name. We are glad to have you on board. Please have the below mentioned details handy, which is employee ID and employee mail ID, and regards the build your robot team. So here the name, here comes the employee ID, and here comes the mail ID. So these three things are dynamic. Okay, this is going to change based on the person for whom we are sending the mail. So I have customized it and I have kept it in the text file. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read. So for each person, uh, so no need to read for each person. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read text file. Okay. Before I actually start it, here I'll read. So what is the text file name? Mailbody.txt, right? So just give mailbody.txt. So I'm gonna read it, and the variable name I'm going to give it here is shit. I don't know why this is not working. Did I press something, number lock or something like that? Just like I'm trying to do this all the time. Okay, I will create a variable from here. str what is it? Str mail body. Okay, and it's a string, and I'm gonna copy this, paste it here. Okay, and again I think it's going to show some error. Fine. After this, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this particular string value and I'm going to format it. So we have an function called format. So here I'm going to use string dot format, and for this particular string, I'm gonna use the format. Okay, so what is the value that you have to use? Okay, so okay, I have copied it anyways. So for this particular, this is a string, right? So inside this string, there are three values that has to be changed dynamically. So how these values will be changing? So if you see in the first place, let me open that notepad for you. Where is it? Okay, I've closed it. Let me show you. Mm, mail body. This is the one, right? So the first portion will be name. So the name will be stored inside this thing, right? So it contains row of first name, first name dot toString. Okay, there comes the first. Okay, so after that, after name, the second one is um, employee ID. So employee ID will be, if you see here in the onboarded employees, because this is the sheet, right? In the onboarded employees, okay, here we don't have. No problem. I can just take it from here. And that is also row of, uh, let's say, employee ID. I will cross check this as well. Employee ID dot toString. Okay, so that is one thing. And the next one is row of uh, employee mail ID. All right. So as I'm taking directly from the okay, I think let's close this. So as I'm taking directly from the data table, so we have to make sure whatever the values that we have given over here has to match with the values that are there in the data table. So I'm going and checking over here employee mail ID and employee ID. So I think I have given the right ones. Yeah. Okay, so this is how we can give. So this looks so big. So what I'm going to do here is just for understanding purpose, I have given you like this, right? So I'm going to format the string. So for this particular string, this comes in the 0th position, this comes in the first position, this comes in the second position. So like this, you have to provide as you use the format function. So once after that is done, there comes the body. So after that, let's see what else we have to provide. Everything, we have given everything. Okay, so let's check and see how this email is going to be. There is some error here. What is this? Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just do a rough run and check if there are any issues or something that we need to handle. Otherwise, we are good with this. Okay, let me um do we have any other open? Yeah, there is already one thing open. So let me just close both of them and rerun it again because it is running fine. So let's see what it's gonna do. But before to that, I have to do one more thing, which is deleting the existing this file because this doesn't have a headers. It may overlap. Let me close this file first and then do it. Done. Okay. Okay. So 3 files were done. The next thing is it has to send out an email. So let's see what it is going to do. Let's go to inbox and wait for it. I think there is some. I think it is finished. Let me see the output panel. It is finished. So we should get email. Okay, I'm sorry. There is no such email like Chandler Bing and all, right? So we can just check here. Registered into our systems. It has been sent to Chandler Bing and Monica Geller. So this has been sent in a proper way, if you see, right? And Rachel Green. So yeah, so this is how we can actually do it. And let me do one thing over here. We have done everything. The last thing that we need to do here is consolidating, right? So before to this, we are actually downloading the things, right? So I'm gonna do one thing, which is use this particular okay, so let me just take this whole thing, this and this. I'll just copy and I'm gonna paste it over here. And once after that is done, so yeah, I'm gonna create this particular thing, variable over here. Okay, and here also it will be reflecting. So it is not okay, fine. This is an issue. So I'm gonna create the mails. So this should be of type mail message. Okay, and this is all fine. So here also it's showing an issue, right? So no need to create here, but mail message to IEnumerable. Let me okay, let's check the written type of I mean like the data type of this. Okay, the data type of mails is a list of mail messages. Sorry, my bad. This should be list of mail message. So I'm just gonna change this to the list of mail messages. So once after that is done, we're gonna send mail for each. I'm gonna save this. So for each mail, we are going to send this. Okay, offer acceptance. I think there are duplicates, right? 2 times it has come. So I can just delete this one. Somehow my keyboard is not working, I think, or studio is overloaded or something. Like, what is the issue exactly? I'm not getting. Or I'll just delete this one also. I'll just delete. Okay. This I'm not able to delete. I'll just comment it. Disable activity. Okay, fine, no problem. This is not working at all. So after that, I'm just clubbing everything, integrating everything into a single workflow, wherein I'll have everything in the same workflow. Okay, so for that, I should also do some prerequisite. Let me just pause the video for a while, and I will set the mail with all the input data. So here I have these three mails which are 100 as input, and this one is the fourth mail. So let's give a try now. So I'm going to run this particular workflow, everything right from the scratch, and everything is involved here. So this gonna get all the mails, and for each mail it's gonna download the attachment. So for that I'm going to delete this attachments from here. So before to that I'll just delete here from here as well. Okay, so it's just for integration. If you know it, it's good. Otherwise, you can just check it over here. So this one also I'm going to delete onboarded ones. So once after that's done, once after we download, after that for each particular downloaded file, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read the sheet and I'm going to perform the form filling. Okay, after filling the form we are extracting the details and we are saving it into our local for our database, and after that we are reading the mail template, which is HTML template, and we're sending over the mail to everyone, right? So we'll just run this whole workflow and see how it's gonna work. So before to that, let me close this one as well. Okay, yeah. So let's check how this is going to work. So it has to read these mails. Oh, there's an issue. Okay, this for each which is not deleted, it's throwing an issue. Let me just show you this for each, the one which is there here. Mm, let me do one thing. I'm gonna. Okay, this emails. I have created it, right? Fine. Okay, let's run this file. So the file is getting executed, and so we can see the process has started execution and it has opened the application. So it's trying to enter all the details. Before to that, let me just check if the employee folder, yeah, 4 files were downloaded, and I was trying to fill in the form. Okay, there's some issue with the dialog box. So this is what I have mentioned earlier. So whenever there's an issue with dialog box, sometimes it may not work in the run mode. So during that time, what you can do, you can use the hotkey. Okay, so let me just do one thing. I will just do it in the debug mode. So before to that, I'll just open this folder and delete these files. Okay, and now let's run this. Mostly this shouldn't happen, but as we don't have the exception handling in place and also the proper waiting and all in place, so this is gonna happen sometimes. So for that we have to handle by using proper exception handling and also retry mechanisms. So if that's done, this can be handled properly, because most of the time the application exceptions we will encounter when we are doing WebGI automation. So I think that is the issue now also we are encountering. I'll do one thing. I can just do this whole thing in the debug mode so that I can just show you as well without encountering any further issues. But to not encounter issues, we definitely have to do this in the with proper exception handling in the retry mechanism. So the process has started execution. Let me just show you. In the project folder, I'll just refresh this. So if you see, we don't have anything in the employee folder right now, but as and when it downloads, we can see. Okay, there's this message box. I'm gonna remove the breakpoints and hit continue. Okay. So yeah, now we don't have to worry that it didn't work because it's in run mode, because it's all because we don't have a retry mechanism and also the exception handling. And if we can have proper handling, like the timing and all, then it will work. I can show that as well, but that will become a whole project together. So going forward, I will show by including something in RE framework and all, so that we can see everything handling. So after this, I'm gonna show how the robot is going to send out the mails also to everyone. Okay, so by this time we have actually filled out the forms for all the employees that are onboarded, and the next task is going to send out the mails to everyone, right? So here we can see that the bot has created the onboard employees sheet as well. So in this, we can see the header as well this time. These were the employee IDs and the employee mail IDs. And I'm going to show you this sent mails as well. So these were the sent mails. We cannot see them in the inbox because these were sent, and this were to me because I have my particular mail ID. So this will be the format to everyone that has been sent. So this is how the complete use case on employee onboarding. So I hope you have got the clear understanding. So going forward, I'll show you how we can do exception handling and also retry scope and all these activities, which are very crucial and important. Otherwise, we may encounter application exceptions and which the bot may fail. So thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please do subscribe and also like to the videos. I'll see you with one more interesting use case in the next video.